recruiting update. These will be getting few and far between unless someone commits, obviously, to the University of Texas. I obviously dropped a Nick Brooks commitment video, so check that out. I dropped a Jonah Williams commitment video. Very excited for his future on the 40 acres. That guy is a stud. No matter if he chooses baseball or football, he's going to be a fantastic player, whatever he decides. Could have a future at both. Who knows? But again, stay in tune and stay in touch, like and subscribe. So let's talk about this. Texas, all the way up to number 7 in the recruiting rankings. Fantastic job by Steve Sarkisian. You missed on a couple guys early. You circled back on someone like 4-star defensive tackle Josiah Sharma, who flipped over from Oregon after a month. And honestly, there might be some more flips in the cycle. Myron Charles at Florida State, Javion Hilson at Florida State, Kevin Wynn at Florida State, Dallas Wilson at Oregon, I think are the most likely 4 guys that we could flip from their current programs. I don't think DeCorian Moore flips. But let's talk about a guy that could be coming to the University of Texas this Friday, Jaime Ffrench. 5-star wide receiver. August 30th is his commitment date. Super early. But we will have a video here for you. It's going to be between Miami or Texas. For the longest time, it was believed that he did not want to stay in the state of Florida. But I told people, I begged for people to listen to me. Miami drops bags, guys. Miami pays a lot of money. And when the first thing I hear out of a kid's mouth is at the On3 recruiting event, I want a Lamborghini dealership, you do think Texas, because Texas does have that Lamborghini dealership. I believe Isaiah Bond and Michael Taft are sponsored by Lamborghini. The problem is, guys, Miami, I'm sure there's a Lamborghini dealership in Miami willing to sponsor Jaime Ffrench. So I don't know what it's going to be. I think if he values, honestly, development, he comes to the University of Texas. That's the first time in a long time I could say that and actually mean it. Miami has not been developing wide receivers lately. I'm trying to think of the last wide receiver coming out of Miami to do anything. There's no way. It's got to be Santana Moss, Reggie Wayne, Andre Johnson. I'm trying to think of like the last guy. It cannot be that far back. They have to have someone in the league right now doing something. I cannot think of them, but I think Texas stands in good position for Jaime Ffrench. I do think it ends up being either Miami or Texas. I think Tennessee has greatly fallen off here, and we'll have to see. I'm hoping it's Texas. If he goes to Texas, that gives Texas 3 5-star recruits in the class. I think there's only a couple teams in the country that could say that. So look out for that August 30th. Again, I will be here breaking it down. Next up, we have Michael Terry III. Oregon, Nebraska, and Texas are his final 3. He kind of cut out Texas A&M. Good job for him on that one. And I think Texas is finally got their pitch together of you're going to come here and be just an offensive weapon. They don't have a title for it. They're not going to say tight end. They're not going to say wide receiver. I think you're going to see him in the backfield sometimes. He could get a couple carries. He could run routes out of the backfield. He could line up, split out wide as a big tight end or a big wide receiver. This guy's got a very versatile skill set. If you go watch his tape, he just had a game where he caught a pass and basically broke a couple tackles, took it to the house. This guy's 6'3", 215 pounds. He's a freak athlete. What I love about Steve Sarkisian, he's starting to bring in these freak athletes, and they don't really have positions. They're just going to mold them into really good football players and play a versatile football and have a versatile football team. He's already talked about that. I think you're going to see a little bit of that with this team. I think as long as Sark's here, you're going to see a lot of that going forward, and Michael Terry fits that mold. I would love to have Michael Terry on this team. He could kind of take of what I think is going to be the Juan Davis role of lining up in the backfield, lining up on the line of scrimmage, chipping people, going out for routes afterwards, and then also lining up at running back and possibly taking a couple carries. He was a high school Wildcat quarterback. So I think Michael Terry kind of fits in that role as Juan Davis. He's just a very souped up version of what I think Juan Davis is going to do for this team this year. So this is a hell of a job by Texas. Steve Wiltfong did put in his crystal ball for Texas. That always bodes well, especially this late in the recruiting process. I will say Steve Wiltfong does get a little bit more praise than he deserves because he puts in constantly crazy number amounts of crystal balls. And you kind of saw that with Jonah Williams. I think he put in one for Oregon at one point. He put in one for Texas A&M at one point, I think. And then he finally put in one for Texas. But usually the closer it gets to that commitment date, which we are getting close for Michael Terry, sometime in September, I believe, end of September, he will commit to the university of his choosing. And this bodes well for Texas. God, I keep saying number. 4-star Madden Faro linebacker out of California, Texas, USC, Notre Dame. For the longest time, I thought this guy was going to go to Notre Dame. He took the visit to Texas, fell in love with Texas. He decided to postpone his commitment because I think he was supposed to be committed like 2 or 3 months ago. That bodes fantastically well for Texas. The longer this goes, the more in favor it goes for Texas. If you really wanted to go to Notre Dame, I think he would have done that by now. Could he end up going to Notre Dame? Yes. But like I said, the longer it goes, I think it goes for Texas. What I like about this recruit is this is your thumper at linebacker. We have a lot of freaks right now. Like Lance Jackson probably could play outside linebacker in a different scheme. Smith-Orogbo off the edge could play linebacker. Jonathan Cunningham. They're all smaller guys other than Lance Jackson, which why I think he will just play defensive end and stay on the line of scrimmage for most of his time. But Smith-Orogbo and Jonathan Cunningham could play linebacker. And I think this guy fits perfectly because those guys are more sideline to sideline or rushing the passer. This guy is thump you in the mouth, coming downhill, attacking the running backs, blowing up linemen at the line of scrimmage. So this is perfect for the SEC. So I think there's a really good chance for Texas here. We will see what happens. They also added a couple more guys, defensive line recruits, to their list of guys they had offered. So we'll see how that goes throughout the season. It's very interesting, guys. We're in a new world of college football. We'll see how it plays out with the NIL and everything. But I think Texas has started off pretty well, being the number 7 team in the 24/7 composite rankings is very good. I know Rivals has this out there as like 12 or 13, maybe even 14. Rivals is the worst recruiting service. I'm not just saying that because where they have Texas ranked, they're not good. I trust 247 and On3, I think, do the best job. So if you want to pull from On3, I don't even know what Texas is on there. Those are the two best, in my opinion. I think ESPN and Rivals do a terrible job. I would not trust them at all. I do like Orange Blitz, though. That's a controversial opinion. I like Jeff Ketchum. People are going to hate me for that. I don't care. So that is the recruiting update. We will jump into your comments and questions. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, Jackson, welcome in. Thank you. No, Jackson, no need to apologize. I know you're on the Alabama show. Sorry I'm late, Matthew. I just got back from my first episode. Yes, I went and checked that out, liked it. You guys should go over there and do the same as well. Again, we're trying to grow a bigger community here on the Voice of College Football, and that starts out with all of our team channels. So go to our USC channel, our new Alabama channel, the Michigan channel. Those guys do a fantastic job over there. We're going to have giant collabs that week. So next week when we play Michigan, Tuesday and Thursday, I'll be joining those guys. We'll be simulcasting on here as well. So please go over there and check them out. So thank you guys for that. Myron Charles looking to flip to Texas. Stay tuned. Yes, I saw that as well, Vinter Santiago. I saw that as well. I saw Myron Charles, Eric Nalin from Inside Texas posted his or put in his crystal ball for Myron Charles to flip. I think out of anyone, that's the most confident because there was when Josiah Sharma came to Texas and he eventually flipped at the pool party, Myron Charles was supposed to come as well. He just didn't make the visit. And I think he's teetering. I think he really is. So especially if Florida State has a bad year, Myron Charles will be a Texas Longhorn. I'm very confident saying that. And I think they'll still try to get DJ Sanders, who went to Texas A&M as well on the interior defensive line. So Texas is far from done. It's crazy because I said people were overreacting a couple months ago. I thought we'd be ranked somewhere between the 5 to 7, 5 to 8 range at the end of the season. I'm feeling more the 4 to 6 range now. I think we'll get bumped up there. I think a top 3 class, unless you flip like multiple guys, like 3 to 4 guys, probably isn't going to happen. But I think a top 6 class for Texas definitely could happen.